There's interest. Man United to make Rasmus Højlund decision after 21-game goal drought. Rasmus Højlund has struggled for goals in his second season at Manchester United. Rasmus Højlund has been tipped to leave Manchester United this summer, as it has been claimed that Ruben Amorim is not convinced by the forward. The 22-year-old has failed to find his feet at Old Trafford since joining United in a £64 million deal from Serie A side Atalanta nearly 2 years ago. Højlund has managed just 24 goals in 82 appearances for United, with just 2 of those coming in the 17 Premier League games since Amorim succeeded Erik ten Hag as manager at the end of November. But despite scoring in last weekend's 3-0 trouncing of Leicester City, it has been reported that United could offload Højlund back to Italy at the end of the season. According to TalkSport's Alex Crook, the Denmark international has suitors in Serie A after an impressive 2022-23 season at Atalanta. "I think he'll move on at the end of the season," said Crook. "I think there's interest from Italy. I think INEOS and Ruben Amorim are not necessarily convinced that he's the man to lead the line moving forward." Earlier this week, Højlund said he is focused on his future at United under Amorim after ending his 21-game goal drought at Leicester City on Sunday. "I'm focused on the task with Ruben because that project is incredibly exciting, but Erik was of course one of the reasons why I moved to Manchester United," Højlund said, as quoted by Danish publication Tipsbladet. "He was doing something good and was a talented coach, but it didn't work out, and that's how it is. I'm still very happy to be at Manchester United. It's the club I've always dreamed of playing for, and I'm really happy for Ruben. He's a cool character and a cool person." Meanwhile, in other news, Manchester United reveal new Old Trafford images for 100,000-seater stadium. Old Trafford has been Man United's home since 1910, but plans are underway for a new-build stadium on the same site. Manchester United have launched plans for a new 100,000-seater stadium at Old Trafford. Co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe confirmed upon the completion of his minority stake last February that his preference was for a new build to replace the 115-year-old home of United on the same site. Conceptual images and scaled models designed by the architect Lord Norman Foster were unveiled on Tuesday at Foster & Partners headquarters in London. The Manchester Evening News previously reported that club figures estimate the cost of a new stadium to be £2 billion. United have lost £300 million in the past 3 years, and they are in danger of breaching the Premier League's profitability and sustainability rules. But Ratcliffe believes a new stadium is financeable under the government's plans to regenerate the Trafford Park area, which has already received backing from Chancellor Rachel Reeves. It is estimated that the stadium and wider regeneration project has the potential to deliver an additional £7.3 billion per year to the UK economy. United have acquired land around the stadium to expand the footprint if or when they get permission to commence construction. United own 100 acres. The club surveyed 30,000 fans, and there was roughly a 50-50 split between those in favour of a new build and a redevelopment of Old Trafford. Ratcliffe, 72, has previously described Old Trafford as run down and opined that it had fallen behind the best arenas in world sport. Today marks the start of an incredibly exciting journey to the delivery of what will be the world's greatest football stadium at the centre of a regenerated Old Trafford, he said. "Our current stadium has served us brilliantly for the past 115 years, but it has fallen behind the best arenas in world sport. By building next to the existing site, we will be able to preserve the essence of Old Trafford, while creating a truly state-of-the-art stadium that transforms the fan experience only footsteps from our historic home. Just as important is the opportunity for a new stadium to be the catalyst for social and economic renewal of the Old Trafford area, creating jobs and investment not just during the construction phase, but on a lasting basis when the stadium district is complete. The government has identified infrastructure investment as a strategic priority, particularly in the north of England, and we are proud to be supporting that mission with this project of national as well as local significance." Lord Foster, a Mancunian and a United fan, said designing a new Old Trafford is one of the most exciting projects in the world today, and build the area as a mixed-use miniature city of the future. It all starts with the fans' experience, bringing them closer than ever to the pitch and acoustically cultivating a huge roar. The stadium is contained by a vast umbrella, harvesting energy and rainwater, and sheltering a new public plaza that is twice the size of Trafalgar Square. The outward-looking stadium will be the beating heart of a new sustainable district, which is completely walkable, served by public transport, and endowed by nature. It is a mixed-use miniature city of the future, driving a new wave of growth and creating a global destination that Mancunians can be proud of. Sir Alex Ferguson, whose £2.1 million a year ambassadorial arrangement will end at the end of this season, also threw his backing behind the project. Manchester United should always strive for the best in everything it does, on and off the pitch, and that includes the stadium we play in. Old Trafford holds so many special memories for me personally, but we must be brave and seize this opportunity to build a new home, fit for the future, where new history can be made. Meanwhile, in other news, Manchester United want to sign one of the best midfielders in the world. Manchester United are eyeing a summer move to sign Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi for Ruben Amorim, Givme Sports sources have been informed. The Red Devils are expected to oversee a major squad overhaul this summer as INEOS hope to rebuild the squad in the image of their new manager, despite the struggles he has had since taking charge in November. Financial constraints at Old Trafford mean they must look for value deals in the market, and one player who is now emerging as a target is Spain international Zubimendi. Spain international has a £51 million release clause. Givme Sports sources can confirm that while Manuel Ugarte has established himself as a key performer under Amorim, Manchester United are still looking to add more legs to the squad during the summer window. Casemiro and Christian Eriksen are expected to be moved on this summer, with the manager admitting they don't provide the dynamic energy required, while there are reservations about using Kobbie Mainoo in the deeper midfield role, as he doesn't have the pace or stamina to perform there, and is more effective further up the pitch. A new striker is seen as the priority at Old Trafford due to Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee's struggles this season, but a central midfielder is also high up on the list, and Manchester United are expected to take a close look at Zubimendi when they face Real Sociedad in the Europa League last 16 clash this week. The Spaniard has been described as one of the best midfielders in the world by his national team boss, and rejected a move to Liverpool last summer in order to stay with his boyhood club. But a deal is expected to happen this summer, and a move to the Premier League seems like the most likely destination. Zubimendi has a release clause worth £51 million, which represents fantastic value in a market where INEOS are tightening the purse strings. Reports from elsewhere have suggested that a move to Arsenal is extremely likely, but with Manchester United entering the race, it remains to be seen if they can convince him to move up north instead. Meanwhile, in other news, Ruben Amorim is facing his Erik ten Hag Cristiano Ronaldo moment at Manchester United. Garnacho hit the headlines after storming down the tunnel in the win against Ipswich. Alejandro Garnacho stormed down the tunnel after being substituted before half-time against Ipswich last night. The Argentine international was sacrificed for Noussair Mazraoui on the 45th minute, as Ruben Amorim wanted to bring on a defensive option after Patrick Dorgu's red card. United fans will know that this is not the first time one of their attacking stars has stormed down the tunnel in a strop before the full-time whistle. Cristiano Ronaldo infamously left Old Trafford early after Erik ten Hag refused to bring him on against Tottenham 2 seasons ago. Ruben Amorim is now facing his own Erik ten Hag Cristiano Ronaldo moment with his 20-year-old star. Can he take a leaf out of the former United manager's book when dealing with Garnacho? Ronaldo only appeared 4 more times for United after his touchline tantrum. The all-time great had a fractious relationship from the off with Ten Hag, but it was the game against Spurs where things first boiled over publicly. The Dutchman sanctioned Ronaldo by dropping him for the next United game away at Chelsea. Amorim, who has previously left players including Garnacho out of his squad due to discipline issues, could employ a similar tactic to his predecessor. "Was cold and wet, maybe," Amorim said, when asked about Garnacho's actions. "The thinking was that we played more in 5-3-1. I know that's a risk because we take the only player now that has 1-against-1 and pace. What I am saying is, I'm going to talk with Garnacho about that. I will talk about that if you want in the next press conference." Ten Hag seemingly ruled the United dressing room with an iron fist. Dropping Ronaldo after his incident was the first instances of him stamping down his authority on his squad. Even though Ronaldo did play for Ten Hag again, and even captained the side in his last appearance for the club in a 3-1 loss at Villa Park, the relationship between the two had broken down after the Tottenham game. Garnacho was dropped against Manchester City, along with Marcus Rashford in December, and was linked with a move to Chelsea last Moncht, although his desire was to remain at Old Trafford. It would not be a surprise if Amorim was to leave Garnacho out of his starting line-up for Sunday's FA Cup tie against Fulham, or potentially even the squad entirely. "I love to score goals." Chido Obi gives first interview since signing for Manchester United. Manchester United take on Arsenal in the FA Youth Cup quarter-finals on Friday, and Chido Obi could be involved in the game. Chido Obi said he loves to score goals in his first interview with Manchester United's club media. Obi completed a move to United from Arsenal in the summer, and he was given his first team debut by Ruben Amorim against Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League earlier this month. Obi made another appearance from the bench at Goodison Park last weekend, and was included in the senior squad again when Ipswich Town visited Old Trafford on Wednesday night. There has been excitement building around Obi since his arrival from Arsenal, and United have finally published a snippet of an interview with the young striker on their club website. The under-18s take on Arsenal in the FA Youth Cup quarter-finals on Friday, and United have published a 7-minute video documenting how they reached that stage of competition. There is a snippet of Obi after scoring a hat-trick against Chelsea, and he said, "I love to score goals, and I love to help the team to win in this big competition, so, yeah, it's really good." That is the first time footage of Obi speaking has been shared by United's in-house media, although the 17-year-old did reply good when he was asked about his cameo against Everton by the Manchester Evening News as he walked through the Goodison Park mix zone on Saturday. U18 boss Adam Lawrence praised Obi after the Chelsea victory and said, "It was a really good night for both of the goal scorers, Obi and Scanlon. I thought the two of them had really good performances on the whole, aside from the goals. Obviously, Chido's a natural goal scorer. He wants to score goals and get himself into those positions, but I was really pleased with him just in terms of his link-up play, not just stretching and running in behind, but recognizing when to show into feet, how to use his body to shield the ball, and when to bring others into play." Lawrence continued, "It was a real team effort. When you come into these games, there's always some apprehension. You know it's about how you deal with it on the night, how you perform. Overall, I think you'd have to say we deserved the result and the victory. Like any tournament, you've got to take each game as it comes, and there'll be different challenges within them. We've obviously overcome that tonight. We have a lot of respect for Chelsea as an academy. We know they have some really good individuals and a good squad. We've had a couple of really good games with them of late. When you get to this stage, there's going to be different questions posed of the group. But we rose to that. Every youth player remembers their Youth Cup experiences. We can't have it as the only benchmark for the players in terms of their youth team journey, but it can give the players some special memories. Knowing it was Arsenal away in the next round, hopefully to be played at the Emirates, was a nice carrot for us today. That'll be something we'll look forward to, and something for the boys to remember. The men will be at the Emirates to report on the U18's clash against Arsenal on Friday night. Meanwhile, in other news, it's not their game. Rio Ferdinand names 4 Man United stars who don't suit Ruben Amorim. Manchester United legend Rio Ferdinand has insisted that Joshua Zirkzee, Harry Maguire, Rasmus Højlund and Matthijs de Ligt are not dynamic or athletic enough to slot into Ruben Amorim's preferred style of play. Ferdinand spoke on TNT Sports after United beat Ipswich Town 3-2 at Old Trafford on Wednesday evening. The Red Devils started off terribly, with Patrick Dorgu and Andre Onana getting involved in a calamitous mix-up which allowed Jadon Philogene to tap into an open goal. Amorim's men responded well, restoring parity as Sam Morsy turned in an excellent free-kick delivery from Bruno Fernandes. United would go on to take the lead courtesy of De Ligt, who scored from close range. The game threatened to be turned sour for United after Dorgu was given his marching orders for a reckless tackle on Omari Hutchinson, only for Philogene to equalise just moments afterwards. However, Maguire came up with the goods almost immediately after the break, heading in home Fernandes's corner. Despite being pleased with the result, Ferdinand admitted that the fans are yet to see what they expected when Amorim replaced Erik ten Hag in November last year. Subscribe for more inside updates.